What's going on, everybody? Mortem here, this time bringing you my group build for Honor Mode on Divinity Original Sin 2. So this is the build that I beat the game with on Honor Mode, which is of course the mode of the game that makes you play through basically on Tactician mode, except you get one save. If anyone dies, it auto saves. If your entire team dies, it wipes the save. So naturally, it's the hardest game mode, right? So first I'm going to share this video of me pulling all of the builds I made together, and then I plan on probably releasing like a tips video or something for running through it the normal way. Now, a couple disclaimers and why we're just staring at this weird spacey screen. So first disclaimer, there are ways to like cheese Honor Mode completely, right? So this group build is how to run through the game, completing all fights, completing all quests, and actually do that like the normal way, should you say, without cheesing anything other than just, straight up knowing the fights and fighting through them, right? So, second, if you have not seen the end of the game, this is your spoiler warning. I'm not actually going to show the endings, but I am going to show some footage from the last fight of the game, and I don't want to spoil who the actual in-game people are. Now, truthfully, I don't think just from seeing this you would gather too much. However, nonetheless, this is your spoiler warning. Now, each of the builds in this group build are actually going to be linked down below. It would be too much to go over every single one of them again. There are links to them down below. They run from like 15 to 20 minutes for each build. And then this video is going to be more about how they perform together and basically showing you that obviously this is an effective build for Honor Mode. So first thing, I'm going to do that by actually bringing up my save. So this is us right here on Honor Mode. As you can see, we're in this fight, Honor Mode, all that jazz. If we go to Options, Gameplay, Honor Mode, as you can see, you can't change it when you're on Honor Mode. So, before we actually wrap up this fight, and by wrap up I mean we're actually towards the end of it, we're going to start by going over the builds and what they do. So my main guy here, this is a custom lizard character. He is a modified version of my Outcast build. Now my Outcast build is actually a role-playing build designed around Huntsman and Necromancy. However, for Honor Mode, that's not like a super viable way to play, so we swap out the Necromancy for actual summoning. Now the Outcast build primarily uses the summons from the Necromancy tree as opposed to like the proper Necromancy tree. So swapping out the summoning is pretty intuitive, it's pretty straightforward, and my Shaman build actually goes over basically what we're doing with summoning anyway. Summoning is like super simple. It's basically the one summon, and then the power infusion is usually the best, and then you use the totems. That's basically all you do with summoning on Honor Mode. At least that's how I ran with it, and that's like a super effective way to play it without really knowing much about it. So, alright, now what is this guy's actual purpose here? So this character is usually the character I would play personally, but more importantly, they're basically your ranged support, right? So they're going to do a crap ton of damage from far away because obviously they're going to have a bow or a crossbow or something, and they're also going to have the ability to put more boots on the ground through the summoning. Now, summoning in this game is super strong if you're unaware, but this isn't the place I'm going to cover that. So that's his role. Then we have, I like to put this person as the Red Prince, my Imperial Inquisitor build. So this guy is our tanky Death Knight sort of build. He uses Warfare and Necromancy. Now, Necromancy, in addition to doing physical damage for the most part, while also scaling off Intelligence, which is a strange one, but more importantly, Necromancy gives you health back as you attack someone's vitality directly, which obviously goes very well in hand with a warrior. So again, my Imperial Inquisitor build down below. The actual purpose in this group, though, is to be our tanky upfront melee character. Now, you can't exactly tank per se. Like, there's one taunt you can use every once in a while. But basically, we're just going to put this guy next to as many people as possible, typically, and also use his warfare abilities to stun and lock people down. And that's pretty much his goal, right? And then we have Sabile. Sabile is my Shadowblade build. Now, Shadowblade is primarily Scoundrel, right? However, we're going to put small points into, we're going to put 1 point into Polymorph and Warfare each, and use some of the basically control skills from those two trees, those being Chicken Claw for Polymorph, which stuns people without physical armor for 2 turns, as well as Battering Ram and Battle Stomp, which are the Warfare abilities that apply stuns to enemies without physical armor. And then, of course, she is our roguey, stabby backs person who's going to get behind enemies and basically murder them to death with huge criticals from melee points. Now, her role is, as you might imagine, to do crap tons of melee damage from behind targets, as well as lock enemies down. By the way, you'll notice a theme here. A big part of what we're doing is trying to lock enemies down. That is like hands down the most important part of honor mode, is just locking enemies down and keeping them from moving. So you'll see that's a common theme to pretty much all of my honor mode builds, is finding ways to maximize a character's potential to lock enemies down. And then lastly, we have Losa as my Shaman build. Now, the Shaman build is our support healer, also uses summoning though. So summoning, again, being super strong, as well as the healing, allows her to attack and simultaneously keep the group up and moving. So she has a bunch of heal spells, a bunch of ice spells to, again, lock enemies down, and summoning, of course, being used for, obviously, just the extra summoning strength, because, again, summoning is super strong. Her role is obviously that of the healer and support, while simultaneously doing DPS at the same time, because honor mode, you kind of have to do both. You can't just be a healer or a support class in honor mode. In my experience, it doesn't work super well. So, all that out of the way, right? What are we actually doing? How does this actually play? So I just wanted to show you guys pretty much how this stuff works. Kind of, and also, I mean, let's be real, just proving that you can do this on honor mode. So right now it's the Red Prince's turn, which is our Imperial Inquisitor. Now, by the way, again, spoiler warning, I'm actually about to mention the guy's name. If you haven't turned away and you don't want to know who the last boss is, this is your last chance. Okay, so Brachus Rex. We have him down a little bit because this is actually the save from when I actually killed the guy, which was way back in February of last year now. So all his physical armor is gone. We're on our Imperial Inquisitor. So the first thing we're going to do is hit Shackles of Pain, which is going to transfer any damage our Imperial Inquisitor takes to Brachus Rex here, because he doesn't have any physical armor, which is what this is blocked by. It's only going to cost us 1 action point. So he's all Shackled of Pain up, and then from here we're actually going to Battle Stomp, right? So why are we doing this? This is to knock him down because he doesn't have any physical armor. It's not going to do anything to Isbale, but we're not really worried about her anyway. Okay, so now Brachus Rex is knocked down, which means his next turn isn't going to happen, which is important because if you look at the initiative order up here, his turn was actually next up, so now he's not going to be able to take that, right? And lastly, with our last action point, we are actually going to refill our Ashen Idol of Rebirth, which is an item I'll mention in our tip videos, but suffice to say it's hands down the single best item in the entire game. So we're going to use our last action point to do that. It switches to another character's turn. Okay, and now it's my turn again. Now, Losa's a bit far away, and she's being locked down by Linder Kim over here. So what we are going to do is honestly just take this hit to the face, because she's too far away to be effective, but she's also not taking any damage in this fight yet, so we're just going to take the attack of opportunity hit and move on. Now, it's not going to do much there. It didn't even get through her armor, so we're going to move her up a little closer. She can actually walk pretty far on 1 AP, so we're going to bring her down here. That leaves us with 3. Now, we're not actually going to do any damage with her this turn. What we're going to do, we're actually going to try to hit Brachus Rex with Rallying Cry, which is a summoning healing spell, and it's going to heal him for a certain amount around him. But you might be saying, why are we healing him? Well, obviously it is because he has Decaying, which makes all healing actually hurt you. So as you can see, we just did a decent amount of damage from all the way back here, despite not being able to actually touch him. So from there, we're going to drop Armor of Frost on our character, Mortem, because otherwise he's probably going to die here shortly. And that'll be the end of this turn. Now that Geist there was attacking the Red Prince because it was doing damage to Brachus Rex through the Shackles of Pain. Okay, so that brings us to Sabiel's turn, which is our big melee heavy hitter. Now we have Sabiel here, who is going to basically do a crap ton of damage very quickly, and with any luck, might actually end this fight right here. So we're going to hit him with Mortal Blow, which is our big finale dagger move, because she's right behind Brachus Rex in prime position for it. And we won't, unfortunately, be able to use the 20% insta-kill, because he's not quite there yet. But we're going to Mortal Blow this guy. Do a decent amount of damage, hit him with Bleeding. And then, if you remember, now we're going to hit him with a knockdown to take his turn away again. Now, unfortunately, we weren't able to do quite enough damage, but it looks like Lucian there is actually going to finish the fight. And when Brachus Rex dies, the game ends. Huzzah! We've finished an honor mode run. Now, again, this is a save file I've kept forever, so, like, obviously I knew I was going to win. Now, I'm not going to show you the ending, obviously. My point with this was just to show you that this is totally viable. Honor mode is very restrictive. If you can get to the end, you can pretty much do it. You just got to be careful. Yes, there are ways to cheese and cheat around honor mode. Like if you look at speedruns and stuff, people can totally do that kind of thing. Usually involves the pyramids, which is a whole nother thing. But there you go, guys. Just showing you that this group composition was the personal way that I beat honor mode on Divinity Original Sin 2. So like, comment, subscribe, tell me all about it down in the comments section below. Do you like the group comp? Does it suck? Does it not work for you? Tell me what's what. The next video I make for this will likely be an honor mode tips and tricks video, just kind of showing you some of the best practices for getting through honor mode. Because even with a group comp and knowing what to do, it's actually super hard. So with that in mind, I hope you enjoyed the video, and I hope you have a great day. See you around.